The product is a full deck of euchre cards including 9, 10, Jack, Queen, King, and Ace, with their respective suits. All 24 cards are shown in the demonstrating video.
The first thing the robot does is pick up 2 cards with the vacuum gripper. It slowly goes down and turns on the vacuum gripper to pick up the cards. It'll come back up and then place the cards into the stamp. The vacuum gripper works by activating an output in order to energize the vacuum gripper relay as shown. This switches the contacts of the relay and energizes solenoid 3, which switches the air to go towards the vacuum generator, then up to the gripper. After picking up the 2 cards, it then places them in the first area of the stamp. It'll then pick up 2 more cards and put them into the second area for the stamp. And then it'll pick up a final 2 cards and put them into the third area to be put for the stamp. The robot will then move out of the way. The robot then moves to a safe position and the stamp stamps the cards with their respective 9, 10, Jack, King, Queen, Ace. The robot will also wait until the optic signal is received. This confirms that the stamp has returned to its position and it is safe to pick up the cards. The optic is a PNP and is wired up with the relay to the robot's input card. The character stamp works by energizing the Stamp 1 relay with an output, which switches the contacts and energizes solenoid 1. This switches the air from the retracting input of the cylinder to the extending input. The robot then waits for the optic signal that the stamp has returned to the original position. It then picks up cards from the first slot Once the cards are picked, they are placed in the card holder. The robot then goes to the home position and flips its gripper around to pick up the cards in the opposite manner. This is done to avoid stamping the same side as the character stamps on the suit stamp. The robot then places the flipped cards into the first area of the suit stamp. The robot then grabs the second set of cards and repeats the procedure, except puts the cards in the second area of the suit stamp. The robot then picks up the last 2 cards from the character stamp, flips them, and then proceeds to put them back in the card holder, as the suit stamp only stamps 4 cards at a time. The robot then stamps suits. The suit stamp works exactly the same as the first. It energizes the Stamp 2 relay, which in turn energizes Solenoid 2, and so on. Next, the robot picks the cards from the first area of suit stamps and drops, then does the same to the second group of cards from the stamp. After dropping all the cards from the suit stamp, the robot will actually refill the character stamp and stamp it. Keep in mind there are still cards in the card holder. The robot then picks the cards from the stamp holder. It then drops them in the first area of the suit stamp. The robot then picks cards from this first area of the character stamp, flips them, and proceeds to put them in the second area of the suit stamp. The stamp will then stamp the cards, and the robot will drop them in the drop location. The robot then goes through the same process with the last 4 cards in the character stamp, flipping them and putting them in their respective spot, stamping them and dropping them. The robot will actually use each stamp 2 more times before completing a full deck. It makes sure that each character gets each suit by following a specific process as shown on the screen. The numbers stand for the times around, and the graph shows what cards and what suit will be stamped each time through. If you look down every suit, you will see each has a 9, 10, Jack, Queen, King, and an Ace, making a full deck. The numbers in parentheses show the cards that were held in a card holder.
Safety on our cell includes a dual op start to prevent starting the cell with one arm, E-stops with the E-stop reset button for emergency situations, MCR controlling all power for quick cell shutdown in emergency situations, indicator lights showing if the cell is running and if power is on, light current to stop the robot if objects enter the cell, a half wall to prevent objects from going under the light curtains, optics on stamps to prevent robots hitting the stamp fixture if the stamp is still down, and finally, walls to block objects from entering the cell.
Two buttons that we did not talk about in the video were the re-ink button and the run auto selector switch. The re-ink button calls a subroutine, stops the robot, giving us a second to re-ink. And the run auto selector switch switches between run, if you only want the robot to run through the program once, or auto, if you want the robot to continuously make decks.